Hi, I'm Nyesha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Welcome back to Miss Cleo's Storytelling Corner. My name is Cleo Duke-Wright, and I'm the owner of Cull Books on Blue Hills Avenue in Hartford, Connecticut. This morning I thought I would talk about stories and how stories help us to remember and also teaches us many lessons. I found this story and I think that it has many lessons to be learned. And well, you decide and see how many lessons in this story that you can find. Well, once there was a king who was very, very sick. And he had 3 sons. And they were down in the courtyard and they were very upset and because there was no way they could see that their father could get well. He would surely die. And they cried and they cried together in the courtyard. And an old man came by and he says, "What is bothering you?" He says, "Our father is very sick and he is about to die." The old man said, "Listen, if you find the water of life, it could make your father well again. And you will be happy, correct?" They said, "Yes, but how do we find? It is a far off distance." So the oldest son said, "Well, he went to his father and he said, 'Father, I want to go find the water of life. I would like to leave." And the father said, "No, you cannot leave. That's a very dangerous trip." "Oh, please, Father, it will make you well, the water of life." So finally, his father said yes, he could go. So off he went, got on his horse, and he started off on his journey. And after he had gone a ways, he saw a little dwarf. And the dwarf said, "Ha, young man, where are you going?" He said, "Where I'm going is none of your business." And he kicked him out of the way and continued on. And the little dwarf said, "Ha, what a rude young man that is." And he did him, and he made a magic spell. And so the young man, the prince, he rode on. And he rode between 2 mountains. And as he was riding, the mountains got closer and closer and closer to him until finally he could not even move. He could not even get off of his horse. He had to just stay just like this. Couldn't move one way or the other. Well, he didn't come back. And days had passed, and his father was worried. So the second son said, "I will go." And he went to his father and he said, "Father, I will go find my brother and the water of life." Father said, "I don't know, son." But finally he let him go. Well, he went off, got on his horse, and rode off. And shortly he met the dwarf. "Ha ha, young man! Why are you going in such a hurry?" He looked at him. out of my way," and kicked the little dwarf out of the way. Well, he came between two mountains too. And the mountains got closer and closer and closer, and before you knew it, he could not move one way or the other. And he just stayed there, just like this. Days pass and days pass. And the youngest son, he said, "Where are my brothers? It is taking such a long time. I must go look for them and find the water of life." And he goes to his father and he says, "Father, my brothers have not come back. Please let me go and find my brothers and the water of life." "No, no, no, no," said his father. "You are my last son. I cannot let you go. Please, Father, it will make you well and we will all be together. I will not fail." So finally the father lets him go. And he gets on his horse and he rides away. Pretty soon he comes to the little dwarf. And the little dwarf says, "Ha ha, young man! Oh, where are you going in such a hurry?" And he said, "Well, you see, I am going to find the water of life, and I can't, my brothers have not returned." "Aha," the little dwarf said. "Well, let me tell you how to get to the water of life. Well, first thing you do, here are 2 loaves of bread, and here is a metal sword or a lance." He said, "Now, when you're going to come to the enchanted garden and the palace, you will knock 3 times with this metal sword, and then the doors will open, and 2 lions will come at you, and you throw the bread at them, and that will settle them. Then you rush through the doors, and you will have until 12 o'clock to get the water of life. You are a nice young man. Now go." And the young man said, "Thank you very much. Oh, thank you very much." And he rode on and he rode on until he came to the enchanted garden. And there he saw these mighty doors. And he went up to the door and he knocked 3 times. And the door opened. And the lions came at him. And he threw the bread at the lions. And he went into this beautiful hall. Oh, such a beautiful hall. And he looked around, and first he saw a sword, a big metal sword. He saw an enchanted prince. He took the rings from the enchanted prince. He took the sword up, and he took the bread. And then when he went into the next chamber, oh my goodness, he saw a beautiful princess. "Ah," she said, "you have saved me, and you may have my kingdom. In 1 year we could be married." Oh, she was so happy. And the prince, she was not bad to look at. She was beautiful. Oh, but she said, "You must hurry to get the water of life." So the prince went on and he went into the next chamber. And there was a water of life, but there was this beautiful bed. Oh, it looked so comfortable. And he was so tired. So he laid down and he went to sleep. And all of a sudden he jumps up. It is 11:45. Oh my goodness. What is he going to do? He ran as fast as he could. He got a cup of the water of life and he started to run. He ran as fast as he could, and when he got to the doors were about to close, and he got through and the door shut and got a little bit of the heel of his foot. But he did not mind. He had the water of life for his father, and he got on his horse and he started back. Well, he came to the dwarf again. "Oh, young man, you have found the water of life. That is so wonderful." But he said, I need you to tell me where my brothers are. So Dorothy first said, no, them, you have the bread and you have the sword. Do you know how to use them? Well, I will tell you. The sword will fight forever. It will make you a mighty man, and the bread is never ending. It will serve you well. It will serve you well. You young man, you must. Nice young man. Oh, but he said, I must find my brothers. I must find my brothers. Well, your brothers are not so nice. Oh, please, I must bring them back to my father. Well, I will tell you, but I'm going to tell you this. Beware of them, for they do not have good hearts. Beware. So he told them where his brothers were. And he went and got both of his brothers. And they started off on their journey home. And they came to the first kingdom. Oh my goodness, there was war and starvation. So the young man went to the king and he gave them the bread and he fed all of his people and he gave them a sword and he fought his enemies and won, and there was peace in that land. Then the king gave the bread and the sword back to the young man and they went on their way. And they came to 2 more kingdoms that were at war, and he did the same thing. He gave his mighty sword and he gave his bread to feed all of the people. And when they had conquered their enemies, the kings gave him back his sword and gave him back his bread. Ah, what a wonderful young man you are, said the kings. And then him and his brothers got onto a ship. And while one day he was sleeping, his brothers planned a plot. And when we come back from our break, we will find out what that awful plot was. I'll see you in just a moment. Be right back.
Hi, and welcome to AccessTV.org. I'm your host from Shaping the Next Generation, Naima Jackson. Welcome to AccessTV.org. We're your hosts, Naima Jackson.
And I'm Elijah Williams.
Thank you for tuning in to Shaping the Next Generation. Today's special guest is Ms. Vicki Gallen-Clark.
Ms. Vicki will stop by on the show to talk about her role in the Blue Hills Civic.
Now, if you haven't heard about Blue Hills Civic Association, you should definitely look into it. It's located on Asylum. Now, if you don't know anything about Blue Hills, you should know that Blue Hills Civic Association, they will definitely help you get a step forward in your future. They'll help you figure out what you want to be in the future, because they definitely helped me. I figured out what I want my career to be, I figured out what college I want to go to, and I figured out what I want to major in. Blue Hills helped me because they helped me learn how to write a resume, a cover letter. They prepared me for an interview to get a job. Blue Hills Civic Association is definitely the perfect program for our youth today. Now, thank you for joining us on AccessTV.org. I like AccessTV.org because they offer us highlights on our local community that you don't get from Channel 3 or Fox News. They also gave us highlights from sports like track and field. So thank you so much for joining us. And all the youth out there, you should definitely join us at Access TV and definitely check out Blue Hills Civic Association, because it will help you, it will motivate you to get out there, look into our programs, and it will help you shape your future.
So we are back to finish up our story. Now the 3 princes, they're on the ship. And the 2 brothers, while the youngest prince was sleeping, said to themselves, Oh, he has the water of life. And when he gets back, Father will give him everything, the whole kingdom, and we will have nothing. So let us go and steal the water of life. So the brothers went in while the youngest prince was sleeping, and they poured out the water of life into another container, and they poured sea water into his cup, and they left him. Well, when they got home, the young man, he ran straight to his father, and he said, "Father, I have found the water of life. You will be well now." And he gave his father the water, and his father started choking and became even sicker. He said, "What is this?" And his brothers busted in the door and said, "Father, he is trying to kill you. We have the water of life. We will make you well." And they gave their father the water of life, and he became strong and well. And they said, "See, Father, he was trying to destroy you." And the father looked at his younger son, and he was very disappointed. And his younger son went off and did not say a word. And later on, the three of them got together, and the two were laughing. "We got you. We took the water, and we will have the kingdom, and you will have nothing. And yet you found everything. But we will get everything." You should have paid more attention. So, you see, you just need to go away before Father ends your life. And if you try to tell him, he will never believe you, and he will end your life. So, in the meantime, the father is thinking, and he's saying, "How could my youngest son have done this to me? How? How could he have done this?" So he sent for his huntsman, and he said, "We will go hunting tomorrow, and when we go, you will take the younger prince, you will take my son, and you will end his life. Do you understand?" Oh, the huntsman's heart dropped, for he cared very much for the prince. The next day came, and they went hunting, and the huntsman took the prince off. "Come this way, come this way." And so the prince followed. And then the huntsman got to a place, and he got off of his horse. And the prince said, "What bothers you?" The huntsman could not say, "What bothers you?" "Well, I will forgive you no matter what." "What is it?" he said. "Your father wants me to end your life." And the prince said, "Do not do that. Here, you take my clothes, and you give me your clothes. And you take them back to my father, and you say that you have killed me. You have ended my life." And the huntsman said, yes, he will do that, because he did not want to end the prince's life. And the prince went off into the forest, and there he lived for almost a year. He was waiting to go back to the princess when the year was up. But during that time, before that year was up, 3 kings came to his father's kingdom with big, big carriages of gold, silver, beautiful, beautiful gifts, pearls. And father says, "What is this?" And they said, "We give this to your younger son, who saved our kingdom, to thank him for all that he had done." And the father, he stops and he thinks, and he says, "Well, maybe I was not right. Maybe I should not have had my son killed, because this does not seem to be how it was. So he says to the husband, I wish I had not ended my son's life. I wish I had not done this. And the huntsman said, I did not do it. I could not do it, Your Majesty. So he sent out a letter all over the kingdom and said, a proclamation, I forgive you. Come home, my son. Come home, my son. Well, he heard nothing, and the year was up. And the older son said, it is time to get the princess. I will go and I will have her kingdom and my kingdom too, my father's kingdom. This is wonderful. It is time. And he got on his horse and he started to gallop and gallop and gallop. And in the meantime, the princess, she had built a golden road all the way down to the river, a golden road. It was when the sun shined on it. Oh, what a beautiful sight. And she said to her people and her servants, she said, if someone goes up on the right side of the road and knocks on the door, that is not the right one. And if they go on the left side of the road, that is not the right one. Send them away. I only want the one who comes straight up the middle of the road on the golden path and knocks on the door. Oh. And they said yes, they would do that. Well, as the older brother comes and he's riding along and he sees this beautiful golden road, he says, oh my goodness, that is too beautiful for me to be riding on. I'll ride on the side. So he rode on the right side of the road and he got up to the door and he knocked on that door. And they said, you are the wrong one, go away. So the second brother said, the kingdom. I will go get the princess. I will have both kingdoms. This is wonderful. And he got on his horse and he started riding. And when he came to the beautiful golden road, he says, it is so beautiful. I cannot ride on that road. I will ride on this side. And he rode on the left side of the road, and he rode and rode and rode, and he knocked on that door. And they looked out and said, oh no, you're the wrong one. You have to go. Goodbye. And the brother went away. And by this time, he was almost there. The younger son, he was on his horse. And he saw the palace, the princess. He was so happy. Finally, the year is up, and the princess will be mine. And he was so excited. He got on that road, right in the middle of that road, and that goal, he didn't even see that goal. All he saw is that door, and the princess was behind it. And he started galloping up that road till he got to that door. He knocked on the door, and the door opened for him. And the princess and the prince, they were so happy. We will marry now. But the princess told him that his father had forgiven him and that he needed to go and see his father. So they went back. And he told his father all that had happened with his brothers. And so his father said, I will punish them. I will punish them. But the brothers had left on a ship, and they never returned. But the younger son had a beautiful wedding. And there he had the kingdoms of the princess and his father. And of course, they lived what? Happily ever after. Thank you. Well, that was a story. How many lessons in that story? Can you think of any? Think of any lessons when you think of that story? Maybe you could remember some things. Well, I could remember just a few things. I'll just tell you a few things that I remember. One is, it didn't pay off to be rude, did it? Nah. At the end, it did not pay off to be rude. What else? Oh, yes. The youngest prince, he kept on going. He kept on going, and I'm sure it was difficult, but he kept on stepping and doing what he thought was right. And at the end, he won. You just keep on stepping and you keep trying to do the right thing, and you might not exactly know what's going to be at the end of that, but you know there's going to be a reward. Well, that was one. And there's a few others. Think about the king. Did he learn any lessons? Think about the brothers. Did they learn any lessons? Think about the huntsman. Would you like to have a friend like that? I sure would. Well, what else is there to think about? Oh, there's a few other things that I could think about, but I'll leave that to you to think about. And remember, stories always teach you something. Remembering something. So, I want to tell you this before I leave, and I always tell you, read a little, write a little, and dream. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. You have a good day.